Jack Frost 2, The Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, takes 1 year past the events of the first film, following the same characters with a much campier vibe. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, going over the Jack Frost sequel. And this is a first-time watch for me, just like the original one was. And this was filmed 3 years after the first one. Didn't have any success with the original, but they decided to make a second. And both of these have become cult classics. If you checked out my last review, you already know how I felt about the original, but you can check it out up above, linked on the channel, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can keep up with it, but without further ado, my thoughts on Jack Frost 2. Now, this one has a complete taking the piss out of itself vibe. The first one, it's a little campy, but the practical effects are there. They clearly don't have the budget. It's a little more serious with a little bit of comedy aspect to it, and it looks like someone tried to make a legit movie. Yes, it was a little over the top, little grotesque, little on the nose funny, but that was the original. It seemed like someone with a set out desire to make a film, and when it did not produce, they made Jack Frost 2, which again took the piss out of it. And it is a much heightened version of this type of genre. It is a straight, on-purpose B-movie. So bad that it's good, at least attempt what they're trying. They're trying to make a movie that's so bad that it is good. Really trying to make a laugh at what they did in the first one. But did it work in the same way? All I can give for a pro on this movie is Agent Manners. Now, this movie, again, is over the top. And this is why this is kind of an odd, and I'll get into it in the cons. But I usually like movies like this. But the only one that I felt hit it right and what I like in these movies was Agent Manners. And his scenes genuinely did bring out some enjoyment from me when he first shows up.
Not so fast. Scary dude's already here.
He has these 1-2 line quips. He's very over the top, like he knows what kind of movie he's in, and he does bring a smile to my face. Meet me later. Why later? Because I have to pee. That line was funny. He brings a lot to this in what I like about so bad it's good quote movies. Which then brings me to the deficit of this movie. I like ridiculous over-the-top movies. They make me laugh when they're done correctly. Things like Velocipaster. No! It's so over the top and dumb, and if you're in the right mindset, it kills you. There's parts where they have special effects, and it says insert effects here. And stuff like that, where they really dive off that end. Whereas this one, I've been trying to figure it out because it took me 3 times to get through this entire movie. Whereas with the original, I just watched it straight through. This one, I had to watch in sections. And it's like it was so maybe new and ahead of its time, trying to make a bad movie on purpose. Maybe there's more before this. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my head here. It kind of plays this weird balance where in the first one, you don't have that vibe, and then the second one you do. Whereas when you get one-off movies that are that energy, you don't have anything to compare it to. That's the energy, that's the movie. This one, it has a different, complete different take from the first one. It takes what is campy about the first and amplifies it, and I think that's the problem, is it has a comparison state. And it might be one of the first kind of movies to really take the piss out of their own self like that. To something that's a big genre now of Helen Keller versus Night Wolves.
I think your sister has a gift.
I'm gonna teach her how to read lips.
Diner. Whose vagina?
I can hear you just fine, fuckface.
FDR American Badass.
I present Douglas MacArthur, Chief of Staff of the United States Army.
Dougie Mack.
This is Commander Winston Churchill.
This is General Dwight Eisenhower.
Mussolini.
Hitler. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Albert Einstein, the real jackass.
Shut the fuck up, Einstein!
Player to player, pimp to pimp, I appreciate it.
Velocipaster, all those kind of movies. And I love those movies, but this one just doesn't hit the same. And the first con I have written out here is that the therapist, he said this didn't even affect the movie, but when I heard it, I was like, wow, I can't believe he pays this man to tell him how to feel. This dude had a guy killed, or put away to get killed, rather, that became a snowman that raped and murdered and killed people. And it's 3 years or whatever, a year later, whatever it is. And he's sitting there talking about it in therapy, and the first thing the therapist says is, I thought we were going to try to not bring that up anymore. Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? I got attacked by a mutant snowman that I had to bury in antifreeze bottles under the earth, and you don't want me to bring this shit up? How many counseling sessions does it take to get through that shit? Because for a while, it's not even going to feel real. Dude, 1 year removed, the guy's like, hey, can we quit talking about that really traumatic event? I understand that a snowman raped people in your town, tried to kill people, and it did kill people. Get over yourself. God. And he's doing the bullshit where it's on the phone. And the reason that scene gets me, and I already knew I was in for a completely different movie, is when they're doing this little prank where they're on the phone listening, but they're not. The secretary's sitting there, and a guy walks up, and then a dude with a hard hat walks up, and then a girl in like a chef costume walks up, and immediately I go, oh fuck, it's this is the movie. I already know what kind of movie this is about to be, and it's trying to really hammer home so bad it's good right out the gate. So already I have a preconceived notion of what this is going to be, and then it goes to the scene of the guy vacuuming this office, and he's bumbling around in a way that no one ever has vacuumed a room ever. Especially in a chemist lab, you would not bump into something with your ass 3 times, and he does. So, it's not hitting the vibe that I want it to. And from there on, you just have annoying characters. The sheriff, who I liked in the first one, is, again, he has a character to base it off of from the first one, so now he's just really dumb and downplayed. You have these annoying characters on this raft that are so obnoxious. They pissed me off. Everyone in this movie, you have fucking Captain Fun. Captain Fun. This guy. Oh my god, he make everything that the fucking I have to pee guy brings to this movie, Captain Fun, and whatever the Lieutenant Party Ass, or whatever the hell his alter ego was, fucking kill this movie. Oh my god. The secretary that the sheriff had, in the first one I thought she was a solid character and she made me laugh. This movie, she is just a dope. The CGI is, they had cool effect, like, again, if you heard my last review, the practical effects fit that movie. It has this campy porn-style actress with terrible just the worst CGI, and it's clear that it's intentional, and that's why it's insane. You have a snow anvil, these snow icicles. You have a narration of Jack Frost, who in the first one he kind of keeps to himself, and then he has these little quips and stuff as things go on. He's a dark guy. This one, he's just narrating everything he's doing. He's like, oh, what to do now? Shall we go over here? I'm going to go get myself a drink. Oh, I'm an ice cube. I want to be ice. Let me be ice. Which takes you to the ice nipple scene where this model is taking photos, and then the guy is like, your nipples are at a 0. And she's just putting ice on it, and he's like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I love being on these nips. And it just blows her fucking head up because she's chomping ice. It is, oh my god, there was very little appeal to this movie other than the agent. It did nothing for me because I had a good time with the first one. So if it would have been more of that, cool. This one, it didn't work because it was a sequel. This is like how it feels if you watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and then you see I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. It is that type of tonal shift to me. But this one did have some humor. It knew what it was doing, but it is that type of tonal shift. From I Know What You Did Last Summer to I'll Always Know. And if you haven't seen those movies, go watch the first one, then see the second one. You go, okay, I get it. See the third one, completely gone. That's how I felt with this. And I can't see myself ever rewatching this one. I'll rewatch clips of this one on YouTube just for the agent because he says some wild shit that makes me laugh. And they'd always do that music cue every time he fucking says something. And that had me laughing. But other than that, everything I liked about the characters, ruined, annoying. Everything I liked about the first one with a bit of seriousness to it that had some actual laughs just got traded in for a hokey feel, a cash-in for what all of the worst elements of the first one was. And I'm just not a fan of Jack Frost 2. I'm not. And I would like to know what your thoughts are down below. Do you like this feel? There's got to be an audience for people who like this. The first one had such a cult following. I feel like this one was just a really big fan service to that style. And there's got to be people who love it because, again, I love quirky movies like that, B movies. But this one, since I had a first one to go from, I think that's what tainted it for me. I've been trying to figure it out because this is a style of movie I like, but it took me 3 tries to sit through this. So I think that's the best I can come up with. But down below, let me know what you think, why you love it, why you hate it. Everyone has their own opinions, so don't be a douche. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got more videos coming, you guys. A good amount of Christmas horror movies I've never seen in my life coming up. First time reviews for the most part. Love you guys. Peace.
Take a bell, run. Take a bell swing and take a bell swing. Snowing and blowing, a bushel to burn.